Yeah, no, I wouldn't say no one necessarily tried to cancel me, but I have had, the internet is real. It's a place, and that's what like I don't think maybe a lot of people realize, and I mean a lot of people that partake in cancel culture, maybe that's why they do it, because they do realize it. But like the internet is just a place we go. Like it's not like this other life that you get, like you do shit there. It's just like you went to a different planet. Like if you come back from that planet, you're still you. Like you still did those things over there. We know you did those things, right? And so like I think a lot of people don't understand that. And like I've talked about it before on this podcast. Like when I did that stuff with BLM and whatever, like I got death threats. Like I got people that like.
I was talking with my sister about that yesterday because I told her I was going to be back on the podcast.
So it's like a lot of people don't see that it's real. Or like I've had people on and then found out about things that they've done later after the fact and been like, oh my God, that's fucked up.
That's why I signed a release form when I got here.
Yeah, that's hella fucked up. Some random on Snapchat, I was making a bad joke and they threatened to make me go viral for it. Maybe
How the fuck would they do that?
Touch up on it if I ever go on. Dude, yes, we'd have to get on that. That's fucked up because then those are the people that like discredit positive movements. Like those are the people that like I mean, I don't know if you guys have watched any of those like freak out Karen videos with like the whole masks and everything. Like I've just seen a lot.
I haven't
of those
watched the videos. I've heard of them.
There's a lot of them. There's it's too many to pick from at this point in time. But like you get those, or you get like there are bad like, there are videos where like someone's just being like belligerently racist and like someone gets that on video. Like I think those are good things. Like it's like if that person wants to go do that in public, it's fucking 2020 and we all have fucking computers and cameras on us. Right. So if you want to do that in public, just know that like. You can, but I'm also here in public with this thing. So you don't get to do that, and then like, and that's the thing that I think a lot of people forget is that like, no one's taking away your freedom of speech. That's not what anybody's doing. It's freedom of speech all day, every day.
Right,
but it's not freedom of repercussions. Yeah, it's not freedom of repercussions for that fucking free speech.
No, I totally agree. I think like. Yeah, I hate it when people make the argument of like, oh, free speech. It's like I'm not stopping you from doing this, but no, like I will record you and there will be consequences to your actions because you are a human being the same way the rest of us are. And we do have to deal with big boy and big girl consequences.
Well, dude, it's hilarious. Like all these people that were like doing and saying very racist things and getting caught on video and whatnot. And then this thing, they would go viral and then they would get fired from their job. You have all these like, whatever side of the aisle you're on, but in this case, it was usually people that were of conservative backgrounds or whatever on Twitter, talking heads. So I don't consider them actual conservatives or whatever, but would come out of the woodworks and be like, oh, this is totally unfair. Like, he was just expressing his freedom of speech. He shouldn't lose his job, blah, 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 blah. It's like, hey, dude, that company has the right to do whatever. You're all about rights. And if you want to fucking act away out in public and you represent this fucking company and that company wants to act away, because you did that, then I don't.
Well, I think we also do have to take things into context of time too, right? Like, I think so. For example, first day school got out, my roommate and I were like, let's like binge watch an MTV reality TV show that we've never seen. Pick the first one on Netflix. It was a great show. It's called Are You the One?
Okay. I saw it was advertised to me yesterday.
It was a great show. Yeah. The second season seemed very weird, so we didn't watch that. But we watched the first season. And we thought it was like a 2020 thing because like the lighting was really good. Like we had just seen it for the first time, whatever. But like they had made some comments about race throughout the film. Nothing like blatantly racist, but something that'd be taboo to say now. Yeah. And we were like, oh, that's kind of weird that they said that in 2020. And then the R word was used 2 separate times. And we were like, this MTV does not give a fuck anymore. Like I'm really confused. And then we found out it was from 2013. Okay. But the point of that was like, that dude who said the R word, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying like I would use it to this day, or I'm sure he doesn't use it to this day because, whatever. But if like we were to come out and be like, oh, like you said the R word back in 2013, when everyone, I'm not saying that everyone doing it makes it right, but the context was different. I think everything has to be taken in terms of like context.
I get what you're saying.
And I think we all said stupid shit in the past too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's kind of like the Kevin Hart thing when he was supposed to host the Oscars was that a couple years ago? And people went back and found like old tweets of when he was like, like he made like some gay jokes and they were like, fuck Kevin Hart. And he basically, I think he lost the job.
Gay jokes were so big in comedy back then, and that doesn't mean that he like hates gay people.
And it doesn't mean that it, like you're saying too, I don't think it means that that is right. necessarily. But again, I think with context, one, he's a comedian. So I think it's a joke.
Right.
It's not like that guy just throwing
And
the
not
R
that
word
makes it
at.
right. Like I
Yeah,
think,
exactly.
Like humor is subjective, but I think better humor exists.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that making racist jokes is really
is
funny
top,
at
top
all.
of the line. Yeah.
I don't think it's even a part of a line. I think it's like really shitty comedy. It's shitty like word speak. It's not even comedy. But like I understand that at a point in time it was funny to people, and that was the standard. It's kind of like how like gay used to be used to describe happy, but the word has changed over time to mean like sexuality. And I think like the R word in 2013 when that guy was using it was genuinely not being used. Like he didn't even think about someone who actually had like a cognitive disability, or he was just thinking like, oh, that means stupid. Like that's what it meant to him. Like that's how he translated that word in his head.
Yeah.
And now we've like become woke, and we know that that's like really offensive and mean.
Well, that's what I say. Like where I think that kind of bringing that back to what he was saying, that person, like he made a bad joke and someone was trying to like blow that up and get rid of him forever, right? And like that's where I think those people that are like going out of their way to do something like that, especially to someone like on a Snapchat, that somebody has with like 150 people, like. I think those people take away from the movement. Like we don't get that woke. We it's a good. I think it's a positive of like a net. These movements are a net positive, right? We don't use that word and make it mean that way. So hopefully, maybe the next generation of kids or people that are growing up with that won't use it that way, and it won't make people that maybe have like those suffer from these actual things, or not suffer necessarily, live with, right? Won't like feel stigmatized because of that. Or in the sense of like gay jokes and racist jokes and shit, like I think it's a good thing that we move past those things, right? But when you have people like that are trying to hijack a movement, I think this is what Bill Burr was talking about in his SNL monologue that went viral like a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago. But like people will hijack a movement and then try and just like get rid of people they don't like because of like, and try and like misconstrue what they're saying, like a bad joke, like Whiskey Man was saying. And I think that really fucks it all up for everybody, because if it's like the Me Too movement shit, where it's like we want dudes in Hollywood or dudes that have big positions of power that are doing fuck shit to women or to men, either or. You want those people to get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I don't think anybody who's like, I hate the Me Too movement, you're a fucking scary person. Right. I don't want to talk to you.
No, for real.
But like that movement is a net positive, right? Yeah. But like what's not is then you have fucking, and it's a very small amount of people that do it, but it's the same with the other shit. These people that come out of the woodworks and are wrongly accusing people on purpose, knowingly, and like that shit is so disgusting to me, because you take away from the people that are actually
from the positive
hurting.
parts.
Well, and from the people that are actually fucking suffering.
Yeah.
And like that really hurt. That like I don't know, and maybe I don't know the full details of this case, but I remember Derrick Rose had like a case where someone came forth and said something. And I'm a huge Bulls fan. Love Derrick Rose. And it was like right when he left the Bulls, and this girl came out and said that him and like his like friends like raped her, right? And then like they went to court, and to my knowledge, he ended up basically proving. He basically came out and said like, no, this girl like it was a groupie, and she came to the hotel and said she wanted me and the homies to run a train on her. We ran a train on her. Sorry if you guys didn't want to hear that, but whatever. It's
the facts.
It's
well, I don't know if it's the facts.
And so that's what he came out and said, and that's what ended up like. I guess nothing ended up happening. Dude's still in the NBA. Like I'm pretty sure what ended up that's what happened, and it just really fucks me up, because there's probably a girl, we know there is somewhere, that has gone through a situation like that where she was actually had something like that happen against her will, and you coming out to just try and get a check and slander somebody else because you slept with somebody or whatever, like that's so fucked up.
Like that one girl. Do you remember? You guys probably don't remember. That one girl that came out against Justin Bieber when we were in high school, saying like Justin Bieber had my kid.
Wait,
her name was Maria, and then he wrote a song about her?
No, I saw the one. He had one happen like last year.
Actually, I think her name was Mariah, and then he wrote the song Maria just to like be a dick about the fact that like obviously that wasn't her name, and like to call her out on her bullshit. And,
who was there was one someone just. It just happened again with him recently. It was like last year. And he ended up some girl tried to like me too him, I guess, if that's the verbiage, if that's a verb. I don't know if that's a verb. She tried to cancel him, basically saying he like sexually assaulted her in a hotel room, and she had like these fake she had basically Photoshop's not that hard to learn, guys. It's really not. So she photoshopped some fucking Instagram DMs to make it look like Justin was in her DMs as her proof. And basically said that he had done that on this night at this show, and she showed her tickets from the show and blah, 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 blah. So Justin pulled up with the receipts and was like, I was fucking dating Selena Gomez at the time. Here's me and Selena that fucking night at my hotel room, blah, 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 blah. And like, he
Like,
sued her. I think he countersued her for like a
good.
ton of money.
I think people like that should be sued because they're dangerous.
That's fucked up, dude.
It's fucked up, and they're also like offensive towards the people who are actually dealing with
And
rape.
I think that's like my bigger thing is like not necessarily like, yes, I do think that's fucked up that like it takes away from like someone like a you know,
a celebrity.
a celebrity, like it takes, you know, some of their likeness away, and like that, just that headline of Justin Bieber sexual assault allegations, like some people are gonna be like, oh my god,
Yeah,
I don't,
people who don't look into it
Yeah.
just see that and they're
oh my
like,
god, and so that's why you sue, right? But like, I don't even care about that monetary aspect. I just think it's so fucked up that you're ruining it for someone that actually, it's like you're creating the boy who cried wolf shit.
Yeah, I know people that laugh at the Me Too movement because they're like, yeah, Me Too, like,
Yeah,
like, yeah, if one person says it, of course everyone else is gonna say it, and it's like, yeah, the people who do that really take away from the point of the movement to say Me Too.
and that's like I don't know, and that's why I just wanted to like not come off as incel-y and like saying that there are these women that come out and it didn't even happen, blah blah blah, because you have those guys that'll focus on that's a very small minority, and I just wanted to like make sure we started with like these movements are a net positive for like humanity.
No, it totally makes sense. I
So
got you.
hey, thanks for watching there, guy. Click right over here if you want to see that episode in its entirety, or you can click over here and subscribe to the channel. See all the other fun shit we do here. It's really up to you, guy.